Ram Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Oh, thanks, Prabhu. Happy Gaur Purnima, everyone. So today we're going to attempt to glorify Lord Chaitanya, and we're going to start with Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, chapter 12, text 1. Shruyatam shruyatam nityam Giyatam giyatam muda Chintitam chintitam bhaktash Chaitanya charitamratam Shruyatam shruyatam nityam Giyatam giyatam muda Chintyatam chintyatam bhaktash Chaitanya charitamratam Shruyatam shruyatam nityam Giyatam giyatam muda Chintitam bhaktash Chaitanya charitamratam. Shruyatam shruyatam nityam Chintitam bhaktash Chaitanya charitamritam. Shruyatam shruyatam nityam Giyatam muda Chaitanya charitamritam. Shruyatam shruyatam nityam Giyatam muda Chintitam bhaktash Chaitanya charitamritam. Shruyatam, let it be heard. Shruyatam, let it be heard. Nityam, always. Giyatam, let it be chanted. Giyatam, let it be chanted. Muda, with great happiness. Chintyatam, let it be meditated upon. Chintitam, let it be meditated upon. Bhakta, O devotees, Chaitanya charitamritam, the transcendental life and characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Translation. O devotees, may the transcendental life and characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be always heard, chanted and meditated upon with great happiness. We do translation one more time. O devotees, may the transcendental life and characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be always heard, chanted and meditated upon with great happiness. With great happiness. Yes, great happiness. So I picked this verse because I think it says it all about the spirit of celebrating Gaur Purnima. Every day, but especially Gaur Purnima. What is it saying? Shruyate shruyatam nityam. Every day. Every day. Nityam actually means all the time, not just every day. All the time. Here, the glory is the pastimes, the qualities, the form of Lord Chaitanya. And don't just hear, sing it too. Means narrate it, discuss it. But even more important than that is chintitam. Meditate upon it. It's no use reading a book. It's no use hearing a katha. It's no use chanting a bhajan or katha or whatever, unless we meditate upon what we've heard, what we have chanted, what we have read. And meditation means sit back and think about what's really being said. What's the tattva behind it? What's the real meaning behind it? And how does it apply to me, and how can I apply it? You have not already applied it. That's what chintitam means. So in today's discussion, we'll focus more on chintitam. But as we do chintitam, shravanam, kirtanam, gitam happens automatically. So we'll carry on with that. And actually, another reason I chose this verse is that in a different place, Krishnadas Kaviraj, who's the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, Chaitanya Charita likhi shuno ek mane, anayase pabe prem Shri Krishna charane. He says, shuno ek mane means with a focused mind. Don't start thinking about job you have to go to or whatever else. Today there's no cooking, no prasadam, so we can focus a little bit more, right? And so with ek mane, tasmat eken manasa, Bhagavatam says, listen, focus. Because if we do that, what's the result? Anayase. Anayase means right away. What will happen? Pabe prema. We'll get the love of what? Shri Krishna charane. The love of the lotus feet of the Lord. What could be bigger than that? It's simple. Anayase pabe. From doing what? Chaitanya Charita Shuno Ekamane. Just from focused mind, paying attention. Hopefully we had a good sleep last night and we won't be feeling very sleepy. Maybe we woke up at 2:30 today. For some of us, early morning. But let's try. Okay? So, today we're celebrating the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. And the question becomes, well, why are we celebrating it? I mean, birthdays happen every day, you know, and you say happy birthday, you're done. Right? These days people don't even bother saying, they just forward some kind of thing that says happy birthday. But no, this is something very special happened today. So who is Lord Chaitanya? Well, I'm going to make an assumption, kind of bold assumption, I'm going to make an assumption that everybody knows who Lord Krishna is. Am I wrong? Am I right? Yes, no? Oh, okay, good, thank you. So, there's a very wonderful verse. It says, Radha Krishna ek atma dui deha dhari. Anyone vilase prema rasa sadhana kari. It says that Radha and Krishna are one soul. Means they're not different. They're one. But they've taken two bodies. Because it's kind of hard to enjoy something by yourself. You need somebody to enjoy it with. So therefore Krishna expanded into Radharani. So now this Radha and Krishna together, but one soul. They come together to enjoy their pastimes. That's the reason they've come together. Excuse me. But enjoying that in different moods, different mellows. Of course, with Radharani, the only mellow is conjugal mellow, which is the highest mellow. But then Krishna starts thinking, seems to me that Radharani gets so much pleasure out of serving me. All my devotees also get so much pleasure out of serving me. And I am the object of their love. I am the object of their service. And I appreciate it and I enjoy it, but I want to know what pleasure they are getting out of serving me. So Krishna has never served himself. Krishna has received service from servants of Krishna, but he's never been a servant of Krishna. He's been a servant of the servant of Krishna, no problem. But he's not been a servant of Krishna. So saying, what is that pleasure? Why is it that the devotees are constantly hovering around my lotus feet like the bumblebees around lotus flower? So what is that nectar they are receiving? So he said, nectar receive, okay. You know what I can do? Why don't I suck my own toe? And I'll get that nectar that they're feeling. So you have this very famous pastime of Markandeya Muni in the swimming in the ocean of apocalypse for one night of Brahma. How long is one night of Brahma? How many years? Any ideas? Yeah, 4.32 billion years. Long time. So he's been swimming there, total darkness, and he sees this blue light. And what is he there? On a banyan leaf is a little baby Krishna, sucking his own toe. So why is Krishna sucking his own toe? Well, he's thinking that all these devotees are enjoying the nectar of my lotus feet. So there must be nectar in my toe, so let me suck my own toe and taste that nectar. Well, yeah, there's nectar, there's no question about it, but somehow it's not what he thought. So he said, therefore, I have to actually become a servant. Actually, I have to become a devotee. So he comes as Lord Chaitanya in the mood of a devotee to enjoy that mellow, that nectar that devotees enjoy out of serving Krishna and hovering around the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's one. We'll get into more reasons, but that's one of the reasons why he did that. Now, thinking about the 6 opulences of the Lord, right? Who's most beautiful? Thank you. Right? Krishna is also most beautiful because that's one of his opulences. Krishna is most beautiful. But in the spiritual world, when you say most, there's something more than the most also. So, Krishna is most beautiful, but Radharani is more beautiful than the most beautiful Krishna. Right? So now, imagine Krishna's beauty being combined by Radharani's beauty. How much more beautiful that would be? I mean, we can't imagine Krishna's beauty, can't imagine Radharani's beauty. Imagine Radharani's beauty on top of. There's a very mundane expression, icing on the cake, which doesn't compare with anything like, but just so we understand in our own mundane mind, that now we combine the beauty of Radharani with the beauty of Krishna. So, how beautiful Lord Chaitanya must be. Now, let me tell you one other thing. Why do women in general, in the mundane world, wear ornaments? And I'll answer it for you. Basically to enhance their natural beauty. That's the reason, right? Generally speaking. Why does Krishna wear ornaments? To make the ornaments beautiful. Right? They start looking more beautiful when he wears them. But then why does Radharani wear ornaments? Radharani wears ornaments to hide her beauty. Because she's so beautiful, every time Krishna sees her, he faints. So keep Krishna from fainting, she puts this ornament, so at least he'll stay awake and conscious and enjoy the pastime. Well, Lord Chaitanya, now imagine the beauty of Radharani on top of the beauty of Krishna, that Mahaprabhu going, he needs to do something also. So what are his ornaments? Any guesses? What are the ornaments of Lord Chaitanya? Well, its technical term for that is Ashta Sattvic Vikar. Means he cries, so his tears are his ornaments. He gets pulak, which means the hair standing on end. That's his ornament. He laughs loud like a crazy person. That's his ornament. He falls down. That's his ornament. Right? All these tears. Now, when you and I cry, the tears roll down our cheeks, right? Not Lord Chaitanya's. They go out like syringes. There was a pastime that he was trying to bathe the deity of Shaligram Shila. But he was crying so much that his clothes will get wet before he could bathe them. Now the custom is you cannot be bathing Shaligram Shila when your clothes are wet. For whatever reason, sweat or whatever. Sweat or tears. So he'll go take a bath, come back again, start the process, tears again. Like took him a long time. to bathe deity of Shaligram Shila. So my point is that those are his ornaments, and that's what hide his godhood. Otherwise people will say, oh, it's God. No, this is devotee. So, anyway, so that's Lord Chaitanya's ornaments. Now, another opulence of Krishna is he's most powerful. Right? No doubt about that. But when he is trying to do something in Vrindavan, there's somebody more powerful than him and says, you cannot do this. Who's that? Radharani. So, somebody is more powerful than the most powerful personality, Krishna. That's Radharani. We also say that Krishna is most merciful. There's other opulences. But who's more merciful than that? Radharani. Devotees in general and Radharani. Now imagine the most powerful person taking the mood of the most powerful person, Radharani. The most merciful person taking even more mercy of Radharani on top of it. How merciful would that be? That is our Lord Chaitanya. So he said, I will give my mercy to everyone without consideration of any qualifications. So it is in that mood that Lord Krishna appears as Lord Chaitanya. We'll elaborate on that a little bit more. Now, who came first? Krishna, Radharani, Lord Chaitanya. Any thoughts? We just talked about Krishna splitting into two. We talked about combining them too. So, yes. Okay, so Krishna came first, then Radharani, and anybody else? Wakey. Okay, so what's the answer? They're eternal. Eternal means there was no time when Radharani did not exist. Just like there's no time when Krishna did not exist, and there was no time when Lord Chaitanya did not exist. So this is like the inconceivable pastime. We talk about them splitting into two, we think linear, and we talk about combining them into two, that's linear also, but no. They exist simultaneously, eternally. And because they exist eternally, there are some pastimes that talk about Krishna taking the form of Lord Chaitanya even before Lord Chaitanya appeared in the material world. So let's talk about that. Okay? Excuse me. One time, Krishna and Radha were together in Nidhiban. Anybody been to Nidhiban? Okay, yeah, a few of you. And Radharani is speaking to Krishna. I said, hey Krishna, I had a dream last night. He said, what was that dream? Tell me about it. She said, I saw that I am by a river. A lot of devotees are chanting your name, your holy name. Then I realized that, and I thought I was in Vrindavan and there was a river Yamuna. Then I realized that no, it's not river Yamuna and it's not Vrindavan, it's somewhere else. Then I noticed that the devotees are not the devotees from Vrindavan that I know. They're from somewhere else. And then among them is a man who's also chanting your name. And I thought, oh, that must be you chanting your name. Then I realized, no, it's not you, because his complexion is golden, molten gold. And then I realized that he's chanting your name with the same feelings that I have for you. So I said, oh, it must be me. Then I realized, no, it's not me, it's a man. So she said, Krishna, I'm very confused. Who's that man? And what was that scene that I saw? Where this devotee is from? So Krishna smiled. And he put his hand under his shirt, took out the necklace. A necklace is the pendant. You know what the pendant is called? Kaustab money, the Kaustab jewel. And he said, Radhe, look at this. So she's looking at it. She sees that personality she saw in the dream. She says, yeah, that's him. Who's that? She says, that's me in the age of Kali. He said that as Krishna in Dwapar, I've accepted service from my devotees. I have been their master. I've seen them in that blissful state, enjoying the nectar of their service. And I want to enjoy that nectar. As Krishna, I've asked them to surrender to me first. In the age of Kali, I will surrender myself and see how that feels. As Krishna, I've been giving mercy to everybody. As Chaitanya, I'm going to receive that mercy. As Krishna, I've seen you enjoy my sweetness, and I have no idea what my sweetness is. And the example is given. If you take a mango and ask the mango, hey, Mr. Mango, how sweet are you? Mango has no clue. Mango cannot taste itself. You or I have to taste and say, yeah, it's really good. So Krishna says, I can't taste my own sweetness. So therefore, I have to come back as Lord Chaitanya and taste my sweetness. I want to know what pleasure you're getting from loving me. What's the glory of your love? To experience all that, I'll come back. So I'll imbibe the mood of a devotee. I'll experience the feelings and the mood of a devotee. And I'll taste the nectar of the service of Krishna. So therefore I'll appear as Chaitanya in the age of Kali. And that's what you see. So that's one pastime, Krishna taking the form of Lord Chaitanya. Let me give you another example. This is narrated by Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, based in Bhubaneswar. Very wonderful, wonderful devotee. Anyway, he wrote a book, The Ecstasy of Separation. And in that he talks about another pastime. And he says that one time, Radha and Krishna had agreed to meet at a certain place, at a certain time. But as it often happened, Krishna was late. Now Radharani and her Sakhis are waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. There's no Krishna. Now they're getting a little upset. So Lalita said, let me go and see where that rascal is. So she starts looking for him. She didn't find him, but she found a personality by the name of Shabya. Now, as you know, Radharani has her camp with Ashtasakhis, Lalita, Vishakha, etc. So Chandravali, the competitor of Radharani, also has her Sakhis. One of them is Shabya. So Lalita Sakhi saw Shabya and she said, have you seen Krishna? She said, of course, yeah, he's with Chandravali. They're having a great time. Lalita Sakhi got so angry, she came back and told Radha, why are you wasting your time waiting for that Krishna? He's there having a great time with Chandravali and forget it, let's just go home. But Radharani, her heart, she says, no, I want to see him. I waited this long, I'll wait a little bit longer. Radha said, no, you don't want to do that. Lalita is an angry one. And let's go. So they went home. And Lalita said to Radharani, we will not see Krishna again ever. We will not give the pleasure of seeing you. And I said, but, it's Krishna, it's okay. And Lalita said, no. So Radha said, okay, no. So now Radha's home. And, Radha's heart, she's thinking of Krishna, but she says, okay, yeah, I'm angry too. Sometime later, Krishna shows up, looking a little bit embarrassed, not a lot, but a little bit embarrassed. Shows up, and Lalita says, what are you doing here? And Krishna says, I'm so sorry, I'm a little late, but better late than never, I'm here now. And Lalita says, no, out, we don't want to see you. So Krishna is a little shocked. He said, no, I'm just late, I'm really sorry, No. So Krishna says, well, at least ask Radharani. Radharani says, no. Now Krishna goes back. He's very dejected. What to do? Krishna goes more crazy when he cannot see Radharani than Radharani goes crazy dancing Krishna. So he goes running to Purnamasi. Who's Purnamasi? Anybody? Right, so Yogamaya, my energy god. And she has one assistant whose name is Vrinda Devi. So he goes to Yogamaya looking very upset. So Yogamaya says, hey Krishna, what happened? And she knows everything, but yes, what happened? So Krishna explained everything and then said, Radharani said she's not going to ever see me again, what am I going to do? So Yogamaya said, don't worry, go to Vrinda, she knows how to help. So Krishna goes to Vrinda Devi and explains the whole situation and says, please help me. So Vrinda Devi says, okay, but you have to do what I tell you to do. She says, yes, whatever. And she says, okay, out with your pitambar, the yellow clothes you have, and wear saffron. Krishna says, what? That's my identity. My pitambar is my identity. That's how I'm known, pitambardhari, right? She says, you want to see Radharani or not? Okay, saffron it is. Saffron. Then she says, hair gone. But my hair is so beautiful, I'm known as Keshava because of that. My hair is so beautiful. Same thing, Radharani, okay, hair. Okay, hair is gone. Okay, enough? No. Flute. Get it a flute. But that's my trademark. I'm known as Murlidhar. You know, well, same, Radharani or not. Okay? And so, saffron color, hair is gone, shaved head, tilak is on. And he says, but what am I going to play without my flute? She says, I'll give you tambourine. So take the tambourine. And she says, go village to village, door to door, keep singing this particular song, which basically says, Radharani, she's so wonderful, and she has so much Krishna Prem, and I'm a beggar of Krishna Prem. Somebody please give me Krishna Prem. So this whole song that I don't know how to sing, so I'm just giving a translation. So he's going door to door, singing. Beautiful voice. In the meantime, in this grove where Radharani is, Lalita and Vishaka are standing outside as a guard that Krishna is not allowed to become. They see this mendicant from a distance. Oh, I forgot to mention. She said, out your color also. Your color is no longer blue. It's now molten gold. Most important point, yeah. So now it's walking around in saffron colors, clothes and molten gold color. And he's singing. So they see him from a distance. And they feel very attracted to him. Not just by his form, but the way he's singing and what he's singing. He's singing about Radharani, her love for Krishna, and then begging for Krishna Prem. So they call him. They say, hey sannyasi, you know, who are you? What are you doing? And he says, as you can see, I'm a sannyasi. I'm wandering around. I'm begging for Krishna Prem. If anybody can give me Krishna Prem. So they are so attracted to this sannyasi, so much taken by him. They say, you know, maybe we can help you if you can help us. And he said, yes, anything. So they say, we have our mistress, Radharani. She's not in a very good state of mind. So if you can come and, you know, help her feel better about herself right now, and that'll be very helpful, then we'll also help you whichever you can. Of course, sure. So Radharani is in her room. They take him just outside this room, and he starts singing that same song. Radharani has so much love for Krishna in her heart, and she has so much Krishna Prema, and I'm begging for Krishna Prema. May somebody give me Krishna Prema. Radharani hears that, she comes out. And she got this big veil on, and Lalita brings her there and has her sit down in front of Krishna. And it takes Radharani's hand and puts it in front of Krishna. He says, read her palm. Are you astrologer also? He says, yeah, no, I know astrology very well. Okay, then read Radharani. And he says, but I'm a sannyasi, I cannot touch a woman's hand. I can read her lines on her forehead. So they say, well, she doesn't see any other man. She's not going to look at you. He said, no, that's okay. She can just keep her eyes closed. She doesn't have to see me. But if I see her forehead, I can read her future. So they agreed. They put her veil up. Krishna is looking at Radharani. As soon as he gazes upon Radharani, something that happened a few years ago, when Radharani appeared first, what happened? She said, she's blind. She said, I'm not going to see anybody except first person I see is Krishna. And how did she know? Her eyes were closed. But she felt the gaze of Krishna and opened her eyes. Exactly the same thing happened today. When he gazed upon her, she felt that gaze and she knew it has to be Krishna. She opened her eyes. And of course they saw each other. And the Krishna Prem came and Radha Prem came and, wonderful, wonderful pastime. So my point is that Krishna's form as Lord Chaitanya is eternal, and that's why he keeps taking these forms even before he comes as Lord Chaitanya. So in this particular pastime, he was begging for Krishna Prem. But when he actually came as Lord Chaitanya, he was constantly begging for Krishna Prem. So as Krishna begged once, Lord Chaitanya begging all the time. Right? So when he appeared, there's another particular pastime, Imli Talla, I'm sure you've been there, and where Krishna was waiting for Radharani and just waiting for her. He was meditating so hard, his complexion changed to molten gold. When Radharani came, Lalita said, that's Krishna. She said, no way. And he said, okay, please touch him. As soon as Radharani touched him, color changed back to Krishna. So many, many pastimes like that where Krishna took the form of Lord Chaitanya before he came as Lord Chaitanya in 1486. Okay. So purpose of his visit. Let me tell you one more pastime. But this is Lord Nrsingadev's pastime. When Lord Nrsingadev came, as you know, very fierce, very angry, killed Hiranyakashipu, and the demigods were afraid to go to him, and they said, Prahlad, you go. So Prahlad goes, offers obeisances. Lord Nrsingadev sits down on the throne, picks him up, puts him on his lap, and they're talking. Now this is Lord Nrsingadev, so fierce, so much that even his wife Lakshmi said, I can't go near him. I've never seen him like this. And suddenly, as he talks to Prahlad Maharaj, he smells his hair, puts his hand on his head, starts to cry. Lord Nrsingadev, he starts to cry. Prahlad is shocked. He says, what's going on? Nrsingadev said, Prahlad, you're very fortunate. And Prahlad said, yeah, of course, I'm sitting at Krishna's Lord's lap. I am fortunate. Now he said, no, you're very fortunate you have parents. I have no parents. So if you look at Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, Varaha Avatar, no parents. And he said, from now on, I'm never coming back without parents. I want to feel how it feels to be in the lap of your parents. So his next appearance, so that was his one wish. So his next appearance came as Lord Rama. Kaushalya, Dasharath, parents, enjoy pastime. But as Lord Ram, he developed two desires. A, I need friends. Like Lord Ram had friends, but he was so majestic, he was standing like this. Even his friends were like that. So like even Vibhishan, he tried to make friends with. Sugriva, Hanuman, he tried to make friends with them, but they were always at his lotus feet. You're the Lord. So one wish not realized. Second wish, when Dandakaranya, the sages came and said, my dear Lord, you're so beautiful. Please give us a woman's body and we want to be your wife also. And he said, no, this time one woman man. But I'll satisfy your desire. Next time I come as Krishna, you can be gopis. So second desire. So as Lord Nrsingadev, one desire, Lord Ram, two desires. He came as Krishna. Now you develop three desires. I'm going to wish, see that you already know that know the glories of Lord Radharani, what is his sweetness, and what pleasure does Radharani get. So to satisfy those three desires in the mood of Radharani, Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya. That's the internal reason. External reason, oh my God, I'm running out of time. And we'll focus more on external reasons because as conditioned souls, it's very hard for us to really appreciate what I just talked about really means. When Krishna couldn't understand it, how can we understand that? So let's talk a little bit more about the external reasons, and that's where Chintitam comes in. Let's meditate upon what it is. Excuse me. So, we talked about Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem, gopis felt Krishna Prem. Yashodamaya felt Krishna Prem. Subal, Madhumangal, they felt Krishna Prem. And then his servants, Rattak, Pattak, etc., they felt. So, different mellows, right? So, you have love for Krishna in the mellow of servitorship. You have love for Krishna in friendship. You have love for Krishna in Vatsalya mood, it's a parental mood. But above all that is the conjugal mood. And who personified the conjugal mood? The gopis. And it's that Braj Bhav that the gopis have. What is Braj Bhav? Mere to Giridhar Gopal, dusro na koi. This nobody else. Right? This nobody. The 8th verse of Shikshashtakam says basically saying that. Na para. This nobody else. And they basically gave up their relationships, their fear of what society would say, the fear of not following the regulative principles, social and religious. They gave up everything. In the middle of the night, they showed up for Ras Leela. They said, we don't care what happens. Very high, very high. So high that even Krishna said, because of your love for me, I have to break everything I said in Bhagavad Gita. Or I will say in Bhagavad Gita. What did he say? Ye yatha mam prabhadante, tam statha bhajamyam. 4:11. He says, whichever way you serve me, I'll serve you back. But to the gopis, he said, na parayam, nirvadya sanyujam, swasadhu krityam, vibhudashu ayushapi. He says, what you've done for me, I cannot do for you. Even if I had the lifespan of Brahma, I could not repay your debt. So, pratigya bhanga hoilo means my promise, my vow that I'll repay you the way you pay me is broken. I cannot do that anymore. Not only that, I said in 726, I know everything. Vartamanani cha Arjuna. How does it start? Vedaham samtitani. Vartamanani cha Arjuna. Bhavishyani cha bhutani. Mam Vedaksh. He said, and I said, I will say that I know everything. I know the past, the present, and the future. I know everybody. But I don't know you, the gopis. I don't know what's in your heart. I don't know what pleasure you're feeling. I don't know your feeling. Therefore, I give up. I surrender to you. Excuse me. But then the mood of Radharani is even higher than the mood of the gopis. Her mood is known as Mahamadanaksha. I know it's very tongue twister. But basically means there's nothing higher than that. That love, that's the greatest. That's Radharani's love. So he's saying, I'm going to take that mood of Radharani. And in that mood, I will give Krishna Prema to everyone, even to those who are least qualified. Example of that is Jagai Madhai. Kind of hard to imagine somebody more fallen than that. Yamraj said that they commit sinful activities at such a speed that my computer fails. My hard disks are all full. I keep getting messages from my Dropbox, buy more disk space. But to them, Lord Chaitanya said, it's okay. I will give them Krishna Prema. Excuse me. And another thing that happened. When you borrow money from somebody, if you're an honest person, you want to give it back. But if you're not able to give back that money to that person, and that person says, it's okay, I don't want it back, then naturally you would want to sing the praises of that person. You want to sing the glories of that person. So Krishna, feeling that indebtedness of the gopis, would be constantly chanting the glories of the gopis. As a matter of fact, there is a very wonderful pastime which talks about why did Lord Chaitanya take sannyas. So he had already been to Gaya, he had become a devotee from a teacher, and he was constantly chanting the name of Krishna and Radha. And one day he was sitting there chanting the name of the gopis. They're saying Gopi, 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 Gopi. And a student came, not a very smart student, and he criticized Lord Chaitanya. He says, why are you chanting the name of gopis? You're a man. Chant Krishna's name. That's more pious. And when Lord Chaitanya heard that, he got actually angry. Why? First of all, is chanting the holy name a pious activity? Yes, no? It's one of the offenses to consider chanting of the holy name to be a fruitive activity, pious activity. So that, then he's not realizing the mood of Lord Chaitanya. He's remembering them, he's calling them out because he owes them a debt. He wants everybody to know their glory. But this fool doesn't understand that. So Lord Chaitanya got so angry, picked up a stick and started chasing him. And this boy ran for his life. Now imagine, Lord Chaitanya is 7 foot high, tall, right? Big guy, angry mood, and he's got a stick in his hand. You'd be scared too. So he ran for his life and went to the house of his friends, huffing and puffing, and he told the whole story. And his friend said, how dare Lord Nimai do that? Who does he think he is? Next time he tries anything like that, we'll beat him up. Now Lord Chaitanya heard that. Now what is his reaction? His reaction is, these people are committing offenses against the devotee. I don't want them to fall down. So if I take sannyas, in India at least, people are very respectful to sannyasi. So let's stop committing those offenses. Therefore, I'll take sannyas. So to save them from their offenses, Lord Chaitanya says, I'll take sannyas. Other reasons also, but that's one of the reasons. So anyway, my point is that Lord Chaitanya is chanting the names of the gopis, of Radharani, to repay their debts, and chanting the name of Krishna in the mood of Radharani to feel that what Radharani felt. So now Krishna, the most merciful, has taken the mood of even more merciful Radharani. So he become most beautiful, merciful. So merciful that when Rupa Goswami saw him first time, where did he see him first time? Anybody knows? What was the name of the town? Ramkeli, yes, Ramkeli. And he offered his obeisances and he chanted one prayer that we all know. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Padayate, right? Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishya Nama. So Mahavadanyaya, what does Mahavadanyaya mean? Most beneficent. Now, we said Krishna is most beneficent. We said Radharani is most beneficent. Now we're saying Lord Chaitanya is most beneficent. So how is it different? How is Lord Chaitanya more beneficent than Krishna? Well, let's look at it this. Krishna expands as demigods. They are beneficent because they give you material benedictions as you want. So, Daya karo more, give me some money. But you know and I know that's useless. Well, then he comes as Lord Ram, as Lord Nrsimhadev, with so many other merciful incarnations, and he shows his mercy. Even to the demons. But how does he show his mercy to the demons? Kills them, gives them liberation. Go merge in the Brahmani fulgence, stop bothering everybody. Right? That's his mercy. Right? And then sometimes he's more merciful and to the devotees and gives them. But how many people did Krishna give Krishna Prema to? Not that many. And he had a qualification requirement. What did he say? What's required? 1866. Surrender, yeah. But what was the verse? Sarvdhamana parityaja mamekam. So surrender to me first, then I will. But most beneficent means it doesn't matter. You could be anybody, no qualification, not deserving at all, but we'll give it to you anyway. And not just give it, give handful after handful of it, so much that you can barely handle it. Therefore, he says, you are the most beneficial. But not just that. In the age of Kali, how are the people of age of Kali described in Bhagavatam? 1:110. What does it say? Prayena alpayusha sabhya kalo asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matyo manda bhagyo hi upatuta. In the age of Kali, people are going to be very short-lived. 100 is like a big deal. Age of 100 is a big deal. They're going to be lazy. They're going to be not very smart. And they're going to be disturbed. And they're going to take panga everywhere. Create disturbance wherever they go. Even where there's no business of theirs, they'll do something. And then, in Hindi they say, dur se ag laga ke dekh rahe. Cause some fire somewhere and then just enjoy. That's us. So even to us, lazy people who cannot do what the process was in the Satyug. What was the process of Satyug? So self-realization, meditation. But not for 5 minutes, not for 5 hours, 50,000 years, 100,000 years. Who can do that? Right? Forget that. In Treta Yuga, the process was fire sacrifice. Lord Ram performed fire sacrifice for 13,000 years. Who can do that? And if you don't have brahmanas to chant properly, you don't have the grace pure enough, you can't do that. In Dwapara, it was deity worship. But elaborate properly with proper mantras, can't do that. So to the lazy people who are not very smart, who are constantly disturbing everybody else, he gave them the easiest process. It's the chanting of the holy name. And what is the reward? The highest reward you can imagine. What's the highest reward? Krishna Prema. So he's taking the worst possible people, the least qualified people, give him the highest award. That is why it's Mahabhadanya. Most beneficial. That's our Lord Chaitanya. Okay? Can I get 2 more minutes? I know it's 8:30. He gave us 4 gifts. And I'm going to rush because I know I'm out of time. So Krishna Prema, chanting of the holy name, the glories of the holy dham, Vrindavan. So you know that when he was returning from Gaya, halfway through to Navadvip, he started running to Vrindavan. I can't wait. Then there was a voice from the sky saying, my dear Lord, you're supremely independent, you can do whatever you want, but we just want to remind you, it's not time yet. So he stopped and came to Navadvip. But he always talked about the glories of the holy dham. And finally, Radharani, the glories of Radharani. Like before his Param Guru, who was Lord Chaitanya's Param Guru? No, Param Guru, Madhavendra Puri. Before Madhavendra Puri, nobody knew anything about Radharani. So Madhavendra Puri is the first personality to start the worship of Radharani. But then nobody else knew, his disciples knew. When Lord Chaitanya came, he is the first one to tell the whole world about the glories of Radharani. So as a matter of fact, we the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, who's our ultimate goal of worship? Radharani, not Krishna. There's a very famous story about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj at Radhakund. He was with one of his disciples and there was somebody circumambulating Radhakund. And the disciple said, he's the king of Jaipur. Look at how humble he is. He's performing this circumambulating Radhakund. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, yes, but there's a difference. He's a Vaishnava who serves Krishna as the highest supreme personality. We are Vaishnavas who serve Radharani as the highest personality. And that's the difference. So our ultimate goal is to receive the mercy of Radharani. And Lord Chaitanya is giving us that. And of course, Radharani is the ultimate limit of all the mellows. Even the conjugal mellows, the gopis, she's higher even than that. So if you remember the dialogue between Ramananda Roy and Lord Chaitanya, he takes them through the whole series until he says gopis, and he says, there's something higher. Ramananda says, something higher? It's just there's something higher. And he talks about Radharani and her love for him. Okay, finally, 4 instructions of Lord Chaitanya. And this is in a book called Chaitanya Manjusha, written by Vishwanath Chakravarti. And I wish I knew how to sing. I could sing it but I'm not, so I'm just going to read it. Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadham Vrindavana Ramya Kaschid Upasana Brajabadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita Shrimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matam Idam Tat Adara Napara. So I'm sorry about ruining the whole thing, but basically what's saying is, we serve Krishna, but which Krishna? There are many Krishnas. Krishna comes as Lord Ram, as Nrsimhadev, Kurma Avatar, etc., etc. No? Okay, what about Krishna Krishna? Is Dwarka Krishna? Is Mathura Nath Krishna? Lord Chaitanya says, no. Which Krishna? Brajesh Tanaya. Who's Brajesh? Nanda Maharaj. The son of Nanda Maharaj, that Krishna. In Dwarka, he's not Brajesh Tanaya. In Mathura, he's not Brajesh Tanaya. He's not Yashoda Nandan, Yashoda Lal. Only in Vrindavan. Where does he live? The Dham Vrindavan. So that Krishna who lives in Vrindavan, the son of Yashoda Maya Nanda Maharaj. He's our Aradhya. He's our worshipable deity. Lord Chaitanya is telling us, don't go anywhere else. Shyam Sundar Krishna is it. That's who we go to, that's it. Then, what's the greatest love? Ramya Kaschit Brajabadhu. Who's Brajabadhu? The gopis. So their love. So we need to learn how they loved Krishna. We need to learn how to love Krishna in that way. That's the Brajabhav, the Gopi Bhav. Lord Chaitanya is saying, that's what I'm going to show you, that's what we should. Our mood should be the same as the Gopi Bhav. Right? What should we read? Shrimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Avalam. All this is given in Shrimad Bhagavatam. It's Puranam Amalam, means no blemish, no mistakes. Projit Kaitavaha Atra. All the irreligious things are taken away, thrown away from this. Pure. So therefore, if we absorb ourselves in reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, absorb Chintitam, means we read, we try to understand the context, try to understand the meaning of it, and then we ask ourselves, how can we apply this? What's the real message here? How do we apply? We do that, then Anayase Prem Bhava will achieve the love of Krishna. And who's saying that? It's Lord Chaitanya saying himself. This is the opinion of Lord Chaitanya. That if we read Srimad Bhagavatam properly, in detail of the love, which love? The kind of love that gopis had. For whom? For Krishna. Which Krishna? Brajesh Tanaya Krishna of Vrindavan. So Shyam Sundar Krishna of Vrindavan. That's what Lord Chaitanya is teaching us. That's the main purpose for his appearance. That so we can learn those instructions, those messages, and try and imbibe that mood in somewhat simple 1% way. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Do you have time for questions or? Okay. Questions, comments, corrections?
So Prabhu, thank you so much for the class. So you talked about how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas so society can follow his ways. But then I believe there's a pastime when he approaches Prabhupada Saraswati where his sannyas is not recognized or something, or is not recognized or not at the same level. Is that his renunciation, his sannyas? Could you expand on that? Like, even though he had taken sannyas, he was still not being recognized by this group.
I'm trying to understand your question. Who did not recognize? They did not recognize Lord Chaitanya's sannyas, or Lord Chaitanya did not recognize their sannyas?
No, they didn't recognize Lord Chaitanya.
So you're talking about the Prakashananda Saraswati?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, Prakashananda.
That's okay. So, actually, there is a verse that says, in the age of Kali, 5 things are prohibited. One is sannyas. One is offering horse meat in fire sacrifices. Third is getting a child from the brother of your husband. Fourth is my mind's went blank. Anyway, the point is that sannyas is prohibited in the age of Kali. But you say, wait a minute, so many sannyasis in ISKCON. Lord Chaitanya himself took sannyas, so what are you talking about? The reason I mentioned that is related to your question. There are two types of sannyasis. One is known as Ekdandi, Mayavadi sannyasis, and is Tridandi, Vaishnava sannyasis. So, Prakashana Saraswati is that Ekdandi sannyasi. And he doesn't believe in the form of the Lord. He believes that once they leave this body, they'll merge in the body of the Lord. And you're Narayan, I'm Narayan. Those are their philosophies. And when Narayan comes to the material world, he takes a material form, hence Mayavad. So Lord Chaitanya does not recognize that. But in that particular pastime, they were having more problems with Lord Chaitanya sannyas. They were saying, you're a sannyasi, therefore you should study Vedanta. And you should explain that. But why being so sentimental? You're crying and you're laughing and you're dancing and chanting one mantra only. Don't you know any other hymns? And so that's when Lord Chaitanya explained to them the real meaning of sannyas, the real meaning of purpose of life, etc., etc. And they were so impressed, obviously, that they understood. They all became Vaishnavas after that. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, right? Big sentiment. The very famous verse, Lord Chaitanya says, my Guru thought I was a fool, I cannot understand Vedanta, she just chant and don't do anything. But something happens when I chant and I start dancing and go mad. Yeah, the transformation of the heart happens with this Krishna Prem in your heart. When you are empowered by Krishna, then you are able to transfer other people's heart. But this is Krishna himself, so there's no problem there. But even for us, only way we can transform other people's heart is if we are empowered by Krishna and our Guru. That will happen only if you're sincerely following the instructions of Lord Chaitanya and the instructions of our Guru. Okay? There's two hands behind you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I really like the pastime you shared when Krishna is begging. So can you share from where it is, like the reference?
Yes, Prabhu. I was saying that there's a very wonderful devotee by the name of Gaur Govinda Maharaj. And he wrote a book, Ecstasy of Separation. It's from that book.
Okay.
Sure.
Hare Krishna Guru, thank you so much for your class. You spoke about the ornaments of Lord Chaitanya, you spoke about the ornaments of Lord Chaitanya, which is the eight Ashtasattvika Vikar.
Correct.
So is that only achieved by Lord Chaitanya, or is this a stage or process, like how we have the 8 limbs of bhakti? Is this like something that a devotee achieves?
Yeah. So the question is, the Ashtasattvika Vikar, these transformations, the tears, the sweat, the hair standing on end, laughing like crazy, falling down on, those are some of the Ashtasattvika Vikars. Yes, any pure devotee can feel that, and there are many examples. Haridas Thakur is another example where he would feel that. Actually, that's true. That's true, yeah. So, yes, if you're a pure devotee, these symptoms automatically develop. As a matter of fact, those are known as the symptoms of a pure devotee. So, yes. As a matter of fact, one other thing. I read somewhere, but don't ask me the authenticity of this, but I did read somewhere that when Krishna was talking about appearing as Lord Chaitanya, Rani said, the reason you're taking my complexion will be your kavach, because you will not have your external consciousness. You'll fall down, you'll otherwise hurt yourself. So my complexion will protect you from getting hurt when you fall down like that. So that's the other thing. Excuse me. Yes, Prabhu. By the way, I don't know whether you look more effulgent or your dress looks more effulgent. That's it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Sure.
I just wanted to ask, would you like to mention the bhajan which Krishna was singing when he got dressed as sannyasi?
I don't remember the words of the bhajan, I only remember the translation. You know, I mean, I'm not a singer, so I don't put too much emphasis on the bhajan itself, but I try to understand the meaning. So I'm sorry, Prabhu, I don't know. Yeah.
What can we do today to please Gauranga Mahaprabhu?
Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. So, Lord Chaitanya gave two very similar instructions. One was, Prati ghare jao mango ei bhiksha, bolo Krishna, kaho Krishna, karo Krishna shiksha. Go door to door to door to door and beg for just one thing. My dear sir or madam, please chant Krishna's name. Chant Krishna's name and read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Shiksha. Very similar instruction he gave to the Kuma Brahmin, where he stayed for 4 months after the Chaturmasya. Jaake dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Amar agya hai guru hoya. He said, I'm ordering you. I'm ordering you, not advising you. Become a guru. I don't mean Diksha Guru, but a Shiksha Guru. But what do you do as Shiksha Guru? Krishna Upadesh. You talk Krishna Katha. So today, if you can spend the day in a group, best things to do in a group, do some Krishna Katha. Some pastime of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna, lead from Chaitanya Charitamrita, lead from Chaitanya Bhagavat, lead from Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever. If you can spend the whole day doing today. There's no food, right? So you save so much time. Until moonrise. So this is at 9 p.m. So everybody, you got lots of time today, you know. And the best way to forget you're hungry is talk about Krishna. Talk about Lord Chaitanya. So Prabhu, thank you for asking. Any questions, comments from this side? Oh, sorry. It's for those on the online.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for such an in-depth understanding of Lord Chaitanya's mood. Very important. I just have a question. You described that Lord Narasimhadev had one desire, then Lord Ram had 2 desires, and then Krishna had 3 desires. So what were the 4 desires of Lord Chaitanya?
Not 4, he had infinite desires. Take all the infinite people of the world, give them Krishna Prema. That was his desire. Just Krishna Prema. I just went on doing it everywhere. For 6 years after he took sannyas, what did he do for the first 6 years? Anybody remember? Traveling. He traveled throughout India, mostly South India, but some North India also. And what did he do? Wherever he went. And let's talk about the extent of it. So he will meet somebody, one person from a village, and chant Hare Krishna to him and give Krishna Prema to him. That person will go back home, not back home, back home to his village, and give everybody Krishna Prema. So the whole village will become Krishna Prema. And he would village from one person. Village. Talk about empowering. And so whole South India became Krishna Premi, Krishna Bhakt. And there's so many wonderful pastimes of Lord Chaitanya doing that. Okay?
Prabhuji, I was just reflecting when you were describing that Srila Prabhupada kind of plugs into the desires of Lord Chaitanya and how we are here today as well.
Actually, both Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Lord Chaitanya said, there'll be time when my Senapati will come, general. And actually, there's a dialogue between Bhakti Devi and Narad Muni, where Bhakti Devi says to Narad Muni, a time will come when I will be taken away from Bharat Bhumi to those who don't know anything about me. And my Senapati will come and do that. So, Prabhupada came. There were 3 places it was forecasted, a prophecy, that there'll be somebody like Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada will take bhakti from India to the Western world. And interestingly, Indians will then start doing more bhakti than we were doing before, because New Yorkers are doing it. So we will do it. What a great that Prabhupada's mind. He said, when Indians see people in New York are doing this, they'll also do it. And that's exactly what happened. So many people converted. And now we have millions and millions. I was reading somewhere that now almost 600 million copies of Bhagavad Gita have been distributed. Imagine. So assuming that it's not science or anything like that, it's not necessarily accurate, but assume there's one Gita in every house, in one house. At least 600 million households have Bhagavad Gita. That's Lord Chaitanya, that's Srila Prabhupada. So yeah, absolutely. Does that mean go finish? Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Ki Jai.